You might have that burning sensation to say, no, this is wrong and I object. Question of the day. On a scale of 1 to 10, how horrible are you at listening to people? Post it in the description below. I would actually love to see your answers. I'm Marlon, and on this channel, I share with you tips and strategies in ways that you can improve your life. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you my 3 tips in actually how to become a better listener, or at least seem like you're a better listener. Now, this will be covering the pre-conversation, during the conversation, and post-conversation. With the pre-conversation, you need to make sure before this even starts that you go into this thinking, hey, I am going to listen to this person, and this conversation, I want it to be focused on them. When you go into a conversation thinking this, you normally are a better listener because we have a lot of conversations in our life. And majority of them are either A, you're stating a point, or B, a conversation based on dominance. And when I say a conversation based on dominance, I mean, say if you're talking to somebody and they said, you know what? The sun was pink yesterday. And you say, no, the sun is always yellow. And that is based on how the light reflected our eyes through some hemisphere. Now, that is a conversation based on dominance because you want to prove that you're right. When you go into a conversation based on, hey, I'm going to listen, you are there saying, I'm willing to take this information for you. I am willing to listen to whatever you have to say. And I understand that the focal point of this is not on me, it is on you. That is what I would say as far as your pre-conversation goes. As far as the during the conversation, the one thing I would definitely hit on is non-verbal communication. So when I mean non-verbal communication, I mean just simply nodding while they're talking, letting them know that you're hearing what they're saying, making eye contact. So a lot of people might have problems making eye contact. If you are in a situation where that person is saying, looking at you, and you look at them and like, oh no. If you see them just looking away, don't just stare at them, because if you stare at them, things might get a little bit awkward and that might ruin the whole situation. So try to mimic what they're doing. So if they're having a hard time staring at you, just glance at them and then look at the ground or look somewhere else. Just don't try to make that situation really weird for them. The other thing that I would say is a very good thing to get into habit of, not interrupting that person. You might have that burning sensation to say, no, this is wrong and I object. Don't do that. Don't do that. That'll ruin the conversation. Now, interrupting is a verbal sign of communication. And the only reason I'm putting in the non-verbal is because you're not saying anything. So don't interrupt that person. Let them finish their point. And that is what I would say as far as during the conversation that would work. If this is somebody that is, let's say, in management or somebody that's a higher up, one thing I would give as a piece of advice is say, stop them for a second when they finish making a point and say, hey, I find all this information very, very important. Can you let me get something to write this down? And I don't mean taking your phone out and start typing up on your phone, because the problem with doing things like on a phone or a tablet, you could be perceived as just doing whatever just to make yourself look good. It doesn't actually physically show that you're doing anything because that person can't see that phone because it's facing you. So what I would recommend is get a piece of paper and just write it down there and then. What that will do is signal to that person that, hey, this person finds what I say very important, or hey, this person is very serious about the information I'm giving it to them. So for you, that'll be a very big thing that actually help you out. Now, leading back into the not interrupting that person, once they're finished stating their point, ask your questions, but keep these questions very short because, as I said in the post conversation, you want to make sure this is focused on them. Now, if you follow those simple steps, you're pretty much golden in every situation. Which, break down, make sure you go into this conversation understanding that you're there to listen, make sure you're actually nodding and showing some sort of interaction with them without saying anything. And then the third one, let them know if you have any questions, let them finish what they're talking about, and actually take notes. That's the video for today, guys. Make sure you actually rate, comment, and subscribe. And there's a video, I think that way, or that way. Not really sure, because I might have changed the layout. Anyways, I'm Marlon. I'll see you guys later.